internet technologies have brought about a sea of change to this humanity. Today, I don't think for generations people have seen the same amount of change in their behavior. They have not seen the same change, the way in which we talk, the way in which we behave, and so on and so forth. I was speaking at a different forum a couple of days back, and I was saying the amount of effort that was required when people like me went to engineering colleges in the 70s is, if you really want to learn, you have to go to the library. There was no other choice. If you went to the library, there was no guarantee that the book you wanted was available out there. And there was no guarantee thereafter that the book would be loaned to you. The librarian had his own priorities of life. Compared to that, what you have today, you could Google any information at any point of time. You're sitting in the car, no waiting time as such. I keep saying, people apologize occasionally saying that, Mohan, we got stuck in traffic, we're late for your meeting. And I keep saying, don't say that at all, because I never waited for you either. But I'm very usefully using my time. It's not that in the past, you said, oh, schedules are there, so you wait for them. But today, you look at your iPads or the Blackberries or the iPhones or your traditional computers. You Google information. Information awareness, information availability today is enormous for people to learn knowledge. So therefore, while on one side, I can always talk about faculty as one major linkage, but equally important is technology deployment is something which we could do effectively in the times that we live in order to ensure that we can definitely get the information across to the students much more easily than what was done through pure faculty members. But I think the key challenge is there are a number of initiatives I know of which have happened in the past. People talk about it. With all respect, Dr. Reddy talked extensively about a number of these initiatives, and at the sideline I was just telling him that the key thing is all about executing it. Because I know audience today, I do have a number of people, eminent people, who run colleges as the chairpersons, as the principals, as people who are the head of training, head of placement, and I like to appeal to them. Please, in your colleges, can you think about technology deployment as a major initiative to ensure that the quality of education goes up? Because the emphasis is no longer on quantity. I think you have done a marvelous job in terms of creating the capacity. Capacity creation is not what I think is important for us as a nation, as an industry. What's important for us is making sure that you build that capability to every student that you have. My key concern today is that these students then comes the issue, where are the other people going? Imagine an engineer, so-called engineer, with a degree with him, unemployed for 5 years, running from pillar to post, knocking at every door, with his chapel getting worn out, with a degree called engineering. I keep saying, I get sleepless nights when I think about it. When quantities are large. 700,000, you leave 30% of it, it's 2 lakhs of people every year if we add them into unemployable labor with a degree of engineering. All of us as a society have to definitely get concerned to say, look, we need to wake up now and make sure it's not like it's got a number of positive aspects to it. The industry will prosper, the nation will prosper, the society will prosper. The most important to me, the student who is a part of the society will prosper. So therefore, the second one is, please make sure that we have technology deployment to its best. A third initiative I think is extremely important too, is the participation of the industry into the academia. I think some of you as HR managers, as placement managers who are all here, I'd like you to go back to talk to your executive members of your companies to ensure that this industry participation has to go up. Because I think the industry today, as I said, has come of age in the IT industry. I can't give you many examples away from my company, so therefore let me give you 2 examples where we're involved at this point in time. One is the brand new engine being designed by a company called Pratt & Whitney, which is very popularly known as pure power engine. It has 12% fuel efficiency. It has 20% less noise, and it has 60% less emission, carbon footprint. This particular design, which is a breakthrough technology, it's called new Gauge turbofan design. In this particular initiative, there are as many as 300 engineers from my company who participate. It's an engine which has been started designing in 2008. It's right now, as what in airline parlance they call it, it's idling on the wing. It will start flying aircrafts in 2 years from now. You will find Airbus 320s with the new NGPF engine or the pure power engine going on. So look at the leading edge to which our engineers are pushing themselves. So therefore, there is tremendous amount of need, there is tremendous amount of knowledge with the industry at this point of time. A second example I give you back again from aerospace, very fresh in my mind, I feel very, very proud about it, is that in the last 4 weeks, Boeing Aircraft Company, which has 17,596 suppliers, recognized our company as supplier for the year for 2010 in aerospace. Again, what did we do? Our contribution was in a brand new engine, brand new aircraft that they're producing called the 747-8 I, which is the intercontinental, and F, which is the freighter. So there, you look at leading edge, absolutely brand new. You look at the 747-4 in the light of, and I keep telling, it's a fairly simple extension that they're doing, is that the big top that you see on the 747-4, you just like a rubber band, you pull the top. That's how the new aircraft looks like. It will actually be commissioned in 2012. And all the structural design work was done by our company. And for 18 consecutive months, we did not have a single instance of a quality issue or a single instance of delayed delivery. That's a small reflection of what the engineers of India are capable of doing. It's not any reflection on me. It's not a reflection of my company. I'm sure there are many other examples that we have from the industry today. So the result is the industry today has tremendous amount of knowledge. So unless this knowledge can go back into the academia, we will find this gap all the time, and the industry will always cry to say the academics do not provide us the right skilled people. So therefore, as a small initiative yesterday, we went ahead and started an MTech program in JNTU Kakinada, where we're saying we'll collaborate with JNTU Kakinada in giving MTech degrees in avionics, which is basically aerospace electronics is avionics. And Dr. Reddy tells me that he also has a similar initiative with Honeywell and Srimati College, I believe. So therefore, my appeal to my friends from the industry is that we definitely need to go back and work with academia to make sure that we share a number of things that we are today in possession of. Of course, knowledge being the most important one. But how did this knowledge come to us is because of our ability to work with customers who are in leading edge technologies. As a result of that, we have courseware with us. Some of our project managers are extremely well thorough with technology at this point of time. If that could be shared, I think that will be a great, great contribution that the industry will make in making sure that this challenge would certainly not be to the severity to which it is today. Well, those are the 3 main suggestions that I had. The faculty, we need to improve. We need to get the numbers right. We need to increase the number of faculty members that we have. The second one was we need to do more amount of deployment in terms of technology to make sure that we don't take this too far in terms of not having enough of faculty. And a third one is we certainly need to see the industry-academia interaction improving dramatically to ensure that we do not have this problem any longer. But I think one of the small submission I have to the point that Dr. B.V.R.Reddy made earlier today is that we certainly have to change what we're teaching to our students. I think the learning processes have to change. He is primarily trying to say that I can by heart things and I can repeat that in the exam, as opposed to we need to have problem-solving abilities of these students. Therefore, I think to that extent, this is all to do with, honestly, that doesn't require any external influence. It requires an attitudinal change. And the other thing that we have also found is the need for soft skills. I think that's one of the areas which Global has been working. And they also are very important, without any denying. And especially so that what we are finding is that the soft skills are much more challenging when we see students coming from the rural areas compared to what we see them from the urban areas. Whereas technically they are not inferior in any way. Technically they could be equally competent. So therefore initiatives of this nature will certainly help us in making sure that we have readily usable engineers coming into the industry. As a result of it, I think we will stop wasting a lot of money in this nation. I put such an emphasis on lot because I feel very agitated at times when I think about the amount of money we are spending in terms of reskilling people in this nation. The government of Andhra Pradesh itself spends a fairly large sum of money at this point of time in making sure that scholarships are provided so that these 700,000 students are into the college. Thereafter, because the 700,000 students, not necessarily all of them are from Andhra, the students are not up to level. What are we doing? There are a number of initiatives that are going on from Labor Department, Social Welfare Department, a Rural Welfare Department, or Rural Development Department, whatever it is. At least that's another big chunk of money that goes in. Whose money is this? All of us have to realize it's your money and it's my money. It's the society's money. This can definitely, you can avoid spending this money by making sure that we have the right attitude. And thereafter, of course, the soft story comes from the IT industry itself. Last year, documented, the IT industry spent $300 million. That's about 1,500 crores in training their engineers in this industry. So therefore, if there are several stakeholders that have to come into play, and I think the opportunity is great. As a nation, we should not lose on this opportunity, and it's for every one of you, whether you are the head of an education institution, like the chairman or the principal, or you are the HR manager, the recruiter, the CEOs of the companies, are people from the trade bodies like the NASCOM or the CIA and so on and so forth. It's time for all of us to act, and I'm sure we will act to make sure that this industry continues to prosper. Thank you very much.